day. Makes me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, yes, we need them. We certainly need strategies. Talking about strategies for living. Welcome. Are you ready? You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab? I hope so. Welcome into Strategies for Living here on 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. I'm Dr. David McMillan. She is psychotherapist, PLPC Lauren Leon McMillan.
That's right.
I think we need to be affirmed today. I think we need affirmation today.
Do we ever? Yes.
I'm reminded of the words of Mahatma Gandhi. Your beliefs become your thoughts.
Yep.
Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your values. Your values become your destiny. And so,
and it all starts with your thinking.
It starts
and what you
with,
say to yourself.
That's it. We can't control what other people say or do, but we can control our own mindset. And that's crucial. That is especially crucial in these times within which we live and the days ahead.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of what we're seeing in the world today is actually, it's collective, right? And what is the collective but the summation of all of us?
Yeah.
Right? And so if we're seeing this polarity, if we're seeing divisiveness, if we're seeing invalidation and judgment in the collective.
That also means it is coming from within ourselves.
It's got to.
And no, we can't do something about out there.
Right.
But the real power that all of us have
is to start with ourselves.
Is starting with ourselves. And that starts with affirmations. And so we're going to spend a little time talking. We're going to affirm affirmations this evening here on Strategies.
Sounds like a great plan.
And folks, we are delighted that you are with us to do that. And we're certainly delighted that our sponsors make it all possible. And we're welcoming a brand new sponsor.
That's right.
Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, Alligator, Italian Sausage. We're brought to you also by the Robinson Film Center and Azalea Cleaners and Pintail Roofing and Learning RX and the Balanced Life Wellness Center. Back in a moment, we are going to talk about affirmations this evening and how important they are for the rest of the year and on. That's this evening here on Strategies for Living. Welcome into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan. Thought it would be a good idea to talk about affirmations this evening.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Absolutely.
So, how would we begin to define affirmations?
So I think when we say affirmations, a lot of people immediately go to this idea of, positive affirmations. Right? That it means that I am talking to myself in the mirror and I'm saying I am wonderful, I am smart, all of those wonderful things, which I am not knocking at all. This is very important.
Right.
But I might challenge this a little bit and say that everything we say, everything we think
Yeah.
can be an affirmation.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And so those aren't necessarily positive, are they?
Right. They're
Yeah.
just affirmations.
Yeah.
Because what they do, and when I say thoughts, I don't necessarily mean all of our thoughts. I mean the ones that we hang on to and that we focus on. Okay.
Right.
Those thoughts, the thoughts we choose to focus on and recycle, and the things that we say, not just to ourselves, but to everyone, because the subconscious mind is always listening. Okay.
Yep.
So those two ideas are both, I would say, part of the concept of affirmations, because in doing in saying those words and in hanging on to those thoughts, we are affirming whoever it is that we say or think or believe that we are.
Right. And you're bringing up an important point when you're distinguishing, Lauren, the conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up the unconscious or the subconscious mind.
Right.
And many times when we think about affirmations, we think, oh, if I just repeat something over and over, sooner or later my conscious mind is going to get it. Mm-hmm. And there's a fallacy there.
Right.
That I think you're underscoring, because the subconscious mind is a very powerful part of us.
Absolutely. It runs our life.
And one that we don't want to ignore.
No.
You know?
Right.
So as we move through this and talk about, affirmations, I want to make sure that we talk about affirmations not just from the conscious mind level, but what are the strategies,
Right.
as we move on this evening and talk about this, what are the strategies that we can use to take the affirmations that we believe will make our life better, right?
Yes.
And how do we make sure that the conscious mind certainly gets it, but especially the 85% or so of our mind that's under the surface that, as you say, runs our life, gets it.
Right.
And so we're going to talk a bit about that. I think kind of a real life example or two might help out here.
Okay.
Most people know who Michael Phelps is, right?
Sure.
Most decorated Olympian of all time. And he has openly discussed how he used affirmations, specifically positive affirmations and visualization to overcome adversity certainly in his athletic career, but also in his personal life. So Phelps struggled. He struggled with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder as a child, and he faced a lot of challenges in school. And later in life, despite his tremendous success, he battled both depression and anxiety. And, of course, I don't know, but my guess is that it was all, kind of all of that stuff from back when,
Right.
that got programmed in. In interviews, he shared that he relied heavily on affirmations to push through the struggles. For example, before every race, he would tell himself affirmations that helped him focus on success. I can do this. I am prepared. I am the best. And he would also visualize himself. He would see himself in his mind's eye completing the race perfectly, which reinforced his beliefs in his ability. Now, I want you to look at something, because we mentioned the unconscious mind. Listen to his affirmations, because they're almost perfect from a subconscious mind point of view.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so from the subconscious mind point of view, we have to understand our affirmations need to be first person, present tense, and positive.
Right.
Because whereas our conscious minds understand the concept of past and future, everything is now in the subconscious or unconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the unconscious mind does not get negative. It doesn't understand words like not.
Right. Yeah. The way I like to explain it to people is it's a lot, treat it like a child, right?
Yep.
If you were to scream at your child, do not run.
Yep.
What are they likely to do?
No, they're probably going to run.
Right, because they're
Yeah.
operating on that subconscious level of they did not hear or register the
Yeah,
not.
they didn't hear the not, but they heard run.
Right.
So there they go.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's important to tell it what you want, not what you don't.
What you don't want. And so we've got to understand that if you really want to drill our affirmations, that you may want, we're going to give some suggestions this evening of affirmations that might be very healthy for all of us between now and on into the rest of the year and into the new year. But keep in mind, we want those, to be as much as possible first person, present tense, positive. Mm-hmm. Besides sports, when Michael Phelps was facing his own personal struggles with mental health, which he's been very open about.
Yeah.
He leaned, he says, on similar affirmations to rebuild his own self-confidence and stay mentally resilient. And I think that's his story, kind of shows how important affirmations, especially combined with visualization and determination, can be.
I think that's another important aspect of, if you're really wanting to utilize affirmations as a way to truly reprogram the subconscious mind, which you can, and that's how you do it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I think it's really important, just like Phelps used in his example, to engage in active affirmation.
Yes.
Versus passive.
Passive, active,
right?
yeah.
In other words, getting as many of your senses on board with the affirmation,
yeah.
in addition to just speaking them. So you can truly immerse yourself in this idea of, if your affirmation is, I am powerful. Right? I would suggest to you, really think about a time when you did feel powerful.
Right.
Bring that back to mind and embody it. Think about, how did you feel in your body? What were you smelling? What was around you? Really engage yourself in as many aspects of that as you can.
Yep.
And hold that while telling yourself, I am powerful.
Yeah.
So it's that combination of being very active and engaged with the process rather than just, passive, putting an affirmation on your mirror is still always a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Keep it top of mind.
Yeah. I don't think you can go wrong with the affirmation.
You just add power.
You add power to it.
When you engage more fully with it.
Another story and example from present day that I think most of us know of, because she's been vocal about it through the years, is Oprah Winfrey. And she shared, how she used affirmations and positive self-talk to transform her life. And that was particularly during difficult times, because she grew up very poor. She grew up in poverty. She faced a lot of traumatic experiences. And quite frankly, was told a lot that she wouldn't amount to very much. But she absolutely refused to accept the limitations that were being offered to her, and she says that she used affirmations to build her own sense of self-worth and her own sense of resilience. So one of hers that she has talked about is, I am worthy. That was one of her guiding affirmations, and she repeated it to herself regularly. And as her career progressed, she continued using affirmations to stay grounded, and particularly when dealing with public scrutiny. And of course, being, her at the level that she performed in the media, she was under some pretty intense pressure,
Right.
and still is. And she credits the use of positive affirmations as a key to her own personal and professional growth, helping her to maintain a positive mindset and empowering her to really achieve her dreams. And man, she has she has
she done it?
she has dreamt. I mean, for goodness sakes, from being an anchor in her local community,
Mm-hmm.
to a national talk show, to owning her own network, no matter what you think about her.
Right. Everybody knows the name Oprah.
Yeah, I mean,
First name basis.
absolutely. And so
I think that's worthy.
yeah, a story worthy of, and because she credits affirmations with so much of her success, I think it's one that we all need to pay attention to. We are talking.
You get an affirmation.
There you go. There you go. We are talking affirmation today because, well, maybe we need a lot of affirming and affirmation right now, personally and collectively. Talking about affirmations this evening right here on Strategies for Living. Stay right where you are. We'll be back.
From the bayou to your table, we're keeping it alive with flavors from the family, passed down to survive. The Godfather's here with a twist in the tail, alligator Italian sausage, and it sure won't fail. It's the boss of the bayou, a taste you can't refuse. Italian tradition, Cajun infused. Godfather sausage, bold and true. But Andres bringing the bayou to you.
Get the Godfather alligator Italian sausage only at Fertitta's Delicatessen, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport. Pick up a muffy while you're there. The Godfather alligator Italian sausage. It's a taste you can't refuse. Sold only at Fertitta's, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport. Dealing with stress, pain, feel like you're running out of options? When your life is balanced, wellness is a given. True wellness is holistic. It's about the mind, the body, and the spirit, all in balance. Now, there's a place right here in Shreveport that's all about helping us achieve peak mental, emotional, and physical health. The Balanced Life, 117 Kings Highway, right next door to Strawn's. Come see and feel the difference getting your life in balance can be. Many of your friends and neighbors have already learned the difference less stress and pain mean in their lives. You can book a discovery session right now online, thebalancedlife.us. All you've got to lose is stress, pain, or maybe both. Come see and feel for yourself the real difference balanced wellness makes. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, 117 Kings Highway in Shreveport, next door to Strawn's, thebalancedlife.us.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio we have every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem drab. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living.
Living life
Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan. We're talking affirmations this evening here on Strategies for a Living. Why do they work? Why do affirmations? Why do a handful of words that we string together?
Well,
why do they work?
I think the way you started the show is a piece of it, a big piece of it.
Yeah.
You know, the quote by Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah.
Right. The idea that our thoughts become, they become our beliefs, which become our actions, which become ultimately who we are. Right.
Yeah.
Everything we are starts with a thought. Right. I think we can all agree to that.
I think, therefore I am.
Right.
I wish I'd said that.
Now, I can also get a little spiritual on us about it.
Well, that wouldn't we wouldn't have a problem with that here, because we deal with body, mind, spirit, and relationships around here on Strategies, so we're okay with the spiritual stuff.
Good. Well, because I was thinking a lot of traditional positive affirmations start with I am. Right?
Yeah.
And we know from the stories, right?
The power of I am.
Well, and is not what the Hebrew God said? I am that I am.
Well, yeah. What do I call you? I am
and
that
then,
I am.
Interestingly, later on, we get a story about...
And it's interesting, Lauren, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's interesting that I am, not I was, or not I will be.
That's an important point.
But I am, and it's underscores again the importance of the present moment.
Right. We are always creating that I am.
Present
and
moment.
And I think most religions and spiritualities, even atheists, can I say that, can agree that...
Well, yeah, I think atheists would argue that they have a religion, but I think atheism, by definition, is a religion. If we think broadly of what is religion, it's a way we see the world.
Right, it's a worldview.
It's a worldview, so atheism is, quote unquote, a religion.
What I was getting at is I think we all can agree that there is something in all of us, whether you call that God, universe, particles, life force, and it's in everything, right?
Right.
And interestingly, we start with the Old Testament story of I am that I am, right? And then interestingly later, we get a story about Jesus where he says, who is it that you say that I am? Okay?
Yep.
And I take a little bit of a different spin on this, because the apostles responded something like, oh, you are king and you are the savior and you are...
Some say you're John the Baptist.
Rabbi.
Some say you're Elijah, one of the prophets.
Right.
Yeah.
But I take that a little differently to think maybe he's illustrating to us, okay? This idea that who is it that you say that I am?
I love
Are you
it.
following me?
I follow exactly. So he's pointing back at us. He's pointing, back at us through the disciples, apostles he was talking to. Who do you say
that I am? Because I am the great I am. And I am, again, right? We know that the way you treat others, the least of me, is how you treated me, right? Because I am that I am in everything.
Right.
So who is it that you say that I am is the most powerful recognition and acknowledgement of whoever it is that you say that you are. You are.
Yeah.
You have.
You get to define by your thought process, by your thinking.
Right.
You get to define it.
And I am that I am, meaning I get to decide that.
Right.
I get to decide which clothes, which mask I get to put on as I am, knowing that I am.
And no matter what's gone before, no matter where you think you have been, you've got that power within you always and always
absolutely
to begin again right now.
Right. Turn around.
Yeah, if you're not happy with some of the way your life is going, maybe tune in to, wait, WAIT, what am I thinking? Tune into that thinking, and there's where...
And pay attention to who is it that you say that I am.
And that's where affirmation can really come in, because, again, as we move through... the next few months have been predicted by a lot of different people as being challenging times, hard times. I hope the pundits are wrong. I hope that we have a lot of peace and harmony and love. And
I think we're getting there. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, I don't know. And you may be right. A lot of people are saying that. But again, I think it just underscores the importance of what can I do?
Right, because I think a lot of what this has just stirred up is this idea of, I think we can collectively agree, a lot of it has felt like disempowerment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what a more powerful time, right, than to remember who we are.
Yeah.
Okay, and that the power is within us, and it isn't within what we say that we are.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the affirmations that we can, give ourselves is, I control the way I respond to what happens. I can't control, this implies I can't control everything that happens.
Right.
I control the way I respond to what is happening. And in my response, there's my power.
Absolutely.
So there's an affirmation, I think, that is especially important for now and moving through the rest of the year and on into next year. Here's another.
Okay.
The could've and the should'ves. We all have could've and should'ves, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
So just recognize, okay, well, when I have those could'ves and should'ves, I should have done this, I could have done this, instead, I look at the power and possibility of now. I look and acknowledge the power and possibility of now, because now always has possibility and power.
Absolutely. And what if we add to that, I allow myself to open and receive the
like
present.
That. I like
because
that.
I think many of us can get into the practice, perhaps, of your affirmation. Okay, I can look at the now and the present, and then I'm just going to go somewhere else.
Right.
It has to be something very much different, much more impactful when you truly allow and you open to receive the present.
Yeah.
I think so many of us have, for whatever reason, trauma, whatever, we have closed ourselves off to each moment.
Well, and there's, quite frankly, living, and especially living today, is full of stress. It's stressful.
Yeah.
Now, here's another affirmation, because a lot of us spend a lot of our time focusing on how stressed we are. And, so how about how blessed we are? How blessed I am. Here's the deal. Complaining's not going to change anything. But what will change something is a positive approach, a positive attitude. I think that's, recently we had Denisa Walker on talking about
gratitude,
the gratitude, and how gratitude can change your brain, right? And so, I mean, again, complaining's not going to do that.
Maybe a simple one for that can just be to say, I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what that says is that, okay, I may not like whatever the situation is, but it's just an acknowledgement of, I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on or how it's serving me, but I know it will, and it is.
Yeah. One of the things we also need to, underscore here as we talk about affirmations, and we want our affirmations to be positive, right?
Oh, ideally, I think.
But being positive doesn't mean that we ignore the negative.
Right.
Because, again, that would make us foolish in our world today.
And I think that's what a lot has happened is we're stuck in a dichotomy.
Yeah. And so it's being positive isn't about resisting or ignoring the negative. What being positive means is accepting what is and saying, I can deal with it.
Yeah.
I can.
To me, I think of it positive and negative in terms of positive being coming from a place of wholeness, of adding, of integration.
Yeah.
Whereas negative says, okay, that's separative. Something is separate from me and that's bad or that's wrong. So even from that perspective, only looking at the positive can actually be a negative experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then again, if we're accepting what comes our way, we don't know what that's going to be. But here's what we can control. I meet whatever comes my way with my best.
Yeah.
I meet it with the best that I have to give. Mm-hmm. That, I think, is a very, very positive and important affirmation that we could all give ourselves today. Yeah. We're talking about affirmations that we can offer ourselves, and in this day and time, we need them. We're talking about them this evening here on Strategies for Living. More to come. Stay with us. Hey, let's talk about the Robinson Film Center. I say it a lot. There's no place like the Robinson.
Absolutely, there is not.
617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. You've got so much. You got the movies. You got Abby Singer's Bistro on the second floor of RFC, open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday.
Newly remodeled.
Absolutely. Great menu. RobinsonFilmCenter.org is the way you check it all out. You can go to RobinsonFilmCenter.org at any time and find out what movies are showing. Here's the deal. You want to join the crowd, join the fun, become a member. When you become a member, you become a star. You get discounts on movies, you get concession upgrades, you get bistro deals. RFC, 617 Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. I'll say it again. There's no place like the Robinson.
There is not, and I'm glad we have one right here.
Absolutely. The RobinsonFilmCenter.org.
Reading begins not in the classroom, but in your child's brain. I'm Donisa Walker with LearningRx Shreveport. If your child struggles to read, maybe he or she has trouble focusing or comprehending, LearningRx Shreveport offers a science solution to reading problems, working one-on-one with your child, targeting his or her reading skills. Today, call LearningRx Shreveport. Make an appointment to have your child assessed. I know you want to help your child, so does LearningRx Shreveport.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living as we talk about affirmations this evening. We all need to be affirmed. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, will you affirm that we're getting somewhere by talking about affirmations?
I absolutely hope so. I absolutely know so.
Yeah, there you go. I like the second part
more
better
affirming?
than I like the I know so is more affirming than I hope so.
Listen, I know it's one of the most important topics that we could talk about. I mean, because I know people kind of look at it as, oh, it's just some cheap little positive self-talk. Well, it's foundational.
Well, yeah.
It's the building block. It's the template for who we are in the world.
Yeah, well, and like Gandhi's quote that I used at the beginning of the program, it starts out with what you believe and what you think, and then your words and your actions, but those ultimately become your values, and your values become your destiny.
Right, and so here's the deal. Whether or not you use affirmations is not up for question. We all use affirmations all day, all the time.
Yeah, how conscious
How
positive are they?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's about how consciously are
Yeah.
you choosing which affirmations you are building yourself upon.
Yeah, because a lot of us affirm the negative and affirm the negative within ourselves.
Well, and within others, which
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
a reflection of ourselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, even when we say, "Oh, he whatever, he didn't do that right,"
Right.
we're listening to that.
Yeah.
More
yeah.
important than anybody else. We are listening to that,
Yeah,
and
and-
so we hear that judgment, and that affirms our own self-worth in a different direction, right?
Yeah. I think one of the things, and Lauren and I, you and I talk about this a lot, is on strategies, is so many people believe, oh, I got to be perfect. And, perfection is really the lowest rung you can set for yourself.
Let me give
because
you-
it's impossible.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Let me give you two for that. I've got two that I've actually personally used. One I've made up and one I've gotten from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. One that I've gotten from somewhere else is, I am who I am, and that is enough. And that can be the single most powerful affirmation that any one of us uses, I believe.
Right.
I mean, because it says it all. I am who I am, and that is enough
Yeah.
for each moment.
Yeah.
And another one that I've used that I've made up with my team is, I allow myself and others to be the fullest expression of who we are in each now moment.
I like that. Yeah.
Because what that does for me is it reminds me that I don't have any control over anybody else's expression of who they are.
Right.
And it is my job, and my most important job, to be the fullest expression of who I am in each moment.
Right.
No matter what that looks like.
Yep.
Because more than anything in this world right now, I truly believe we need more authenticity.
Yeah.
We need more of who each other are.
And that, a lot of us spend a lot of time trying to think about and manage our problems, right? Whether those problems are at home or at the office or in the community or in the nation further out.
Yeah.
What if we shifted that more and spent that energy on managing our mindset?
What a different world it
What
would
a
be.
different
for-
world we would live in. If there's an old proverb that says, if everybody sweeps in front of their own house, the whole street gets cleaned. Well, you could, broaden that out into the city, the state, the nation, the world.
Right.
But it starts with me.
It does, absolutely.
starts with
and
me.
I mean, how many of us, any of us who have done any sort of interpersonal work where we have had the wonderful experience of being able to shift our own perspective, see something in a different way, suddenly we change.
Yeah.
And when we change, suddenly the world looks different too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had so many clients who've said, suddenly when I started being more compassionate with myself, I started to see how many other people in the world there are that are compassionate. I mean, who you are, then so you see through the world as you are, not as it is,
Yeah.
right?
You're reminding me of, he's gone now, but he was a life strategist a couple of times here on Strategies for a Living, Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Yeah.
And, the old saying, I'll
believe it when I see it.
I'll believe it
Yeah.
when I see it.
Right.
But he turned it around and he said, when you believe it, you will see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that, how many of us want peace? And we want peace within our homes, within our community, within our city, state, nation. But what about,
Peace starts.
peace will come to me when it comes from me.
Yeah. Well, and peace starts when I accept the peace of me. And when I say peace, I mean P-I-E-C.
Yeah.
P-I-E-C-E. Yeah. So, when you accept all of the pieces of you, the ugly, the grumbling, all of it,
yeah.
all the pieces you show to people and the pieces you don't show to people.
Yeah.
When you accept all of those pieces and integrate them, then shall you know peace.
Yeah.
That's my idea of it anyway.
Peace will come to me when it comes from me.
Yeah. So we've done a lot about, here are some example affirmations and why they work. How about how do we use them? When do we use them? Right?
Yeah. What about as much as we can?
As much as we can.
Yeah, as
as
much
often
as we possibly
can. Remember.
And that's some of the whole, idea of this conversation this evening, to bring them into our conscious awareness, because as you have pointed out, it's not a matter of, I'm going to start affirming.
No, you're already
doing it. The question is, are you conscious of it? And when you tune into it, can you see, a lot of my affirmations are negative towards myself, towards my fellow human beings, towards my family, my mate, people I work with,
And when we
whatever.
have that within ourselves, that's called polarity.
Yeah.
That's called divisiveness.
Yeah.
And what are we seeing in the collective?
Yeah.
This, I believe, is where the power truly lies then, right?
Yeah.
It's to acknowledge it and accept it and begin to work on it within us, within each of us.
And it begins, it begins inside. It's an inside job, and it begins with me. It's an easier thing to point out.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
harder and more challenging, for any of us to
it's one of those things.
switch that focus.
It's not easy. It's simple.
No, it's not a hard thing to think about, but it's
simple but not easy.
Simple but not easy. Challenging to actually do it. Talking about affirmations this evening here on Strategies for Living. And we need them. We need them now, and we need to tune in and become very conscious of our own internal affirmations. We'll be back here on Strategies in just a moment. You're going to see the difference. When you go to Azalea Cleaners, you'll hear about it too. Azalea Cleaners has been fine dry cleaning since 1958, plus laundry, alterations and repairs, comforters, wedding gown cleaning and restoration. You'll hear about it from your friends because they'll see it too. They'll notice the Azalea difference. Azalea is convenient. 732 Azalea Drive, 9220 Ellerby Road, and 9227 Mansfield Road. Plus, the front door of your home or business with Azalea's delivery on demand. Just text SETUP to 249-8283, and Azalea will pick up your clothes and deliver them back clean and fresh to you. You can't get closer than that. That's the Azalea difference. You'll notice it right away. Others will too. The Azalea difference. Fine dry cleaning since 1958. Text SETUP to 249-8283 and get the Azalea difference. AzaleaCleaners.com.
Hi, this is Jay Merle for Pintail Roofing. Let's talk about quality. When you hire Pintail to build your roof, here's what you can expect. Quality and quality control are the most important concerns for us at Pintail, and you need to know that Pintail stands tall with swift and professional performance on any warranty call. This is our most important policy. And remember, we're your neighbors. We'll be here for you for the long haul. Our family's lived here for over 100 years, and we aren't going anywhere. On the commercial side of Pintail's business, our fluid-applied roofing solutions can save thousands of dollars over conventional commercial roofing options. Call Pintail at 226-ROOF for a free inspection of your home or commercial building. That's 226-7663. Pintail Roofing. What's the condition of your roof?
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies
And welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan. We are affirming. We need affirmation right now, don't we?
Absolutely, we do. We need internal positive affirmation.
These are times that may be trying our souls and spirits, you know.
But I think that's important. It's an important catalyst, perhaps, for us to really tune into the power we do have.
And we do. We're powerful beings. And sometimes, you know, I think that's an affirmation we can give ourselves, is the acknowledgement of, you know, how powerful we are. Many of us see ourselves as, oh, what can I do? And I'm just little me. And
you have the power to create your world, which is the world.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
And so acknowledge that power. And you have to acknowledge, you can't possibly embrace it until you acknowledge it. And that's part of the affirmation, that, you know, you begin there. I am a powerful being. And then embrace that, and you will live that. You will begin to find yourself living life in a bit different than before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I affirm that you made a good choice in giving us affirmations this evening here.
Thank you.
On Strategies for Living.
I hadn't thought about it in all the ways we've talked about today, so I appreciate it.
Hopefully that's what we do here on Strategies. We stretch us all, give us new things to think about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate our sponsors making it possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Learning RX, and our brand new sponsor, Fertitas Delicatessen, the home of the Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, and of course, the Balanced Life Wellness Center. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? What would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillan, I'm David McMillan. See you next time, right here on Strategies for Living